I think to this day, it's kind of surreal that I lived in Copenhagen for a semester and like that was my home for a semester. It felt kind of surreal there, and it also feels kind of surreal now. So I think it's just something really, really cool that I can say that I had the opportunity to do. So I always had wanted to study abroad when I was at IU, and it didn't really work out in the first 3 years, but I decided I still want to make it happen in my senior year. So I spent the fall from August to December in Copenhagen, Denmark. I think there was a lot of differences, some which I saw coming and some that I didn't really see coming. I think the biggest one is after being at IU for 3 years, I had fully established my routine and my people and my favorite spots and everything. So leaving all of that to go again and start over new, which I also did coming into college, definitely took some time to transition, to get used to. And I think it was both what I found most exciting, but also most difficult, because I think we kind of crave that routine at some point and familiarity. But I think it was a great challenge, and I also found that in new things. You know, I found my favorite things in Copenhagen and my new favorite people for a semester. So I think that was really beautiful, and it also made me more appreciative of IU and grateful for things that when I first came to IU I took for granted, like the beautiful campus. I missed at the end of the semester having like a campus to call home, because in Copenhagen it was downtown, which is really cool, but you don't have this whole like 2,000-acre beautiful campus to have. So I always knew I was interested in the lines of advertising, marketing, communication, something creative. And so I'm majoring in media advertising and minoring in marketing in Kelly and the media school. So there's definitely a lot of overlap, but also some differences. I think in advertising, it's a little bit more specific and almost like niche to advertising. So I'm learning a lot of those like basics and kind of mastering them. Whereas in Kelly, it's a little bit broader just because it's my minor. And I've also had the chance in both disciplines to do a lot of practical work. So case studies and competitions and, you know, collaborating with different local organizations. And I think here I'm having the chance to do something so creative and working in teams and just doing what like real people in an advertising agency do. Everything from strategy and creative briefs to actually coming up with ideas and then implementing them. So I think that's been really cool just to go through that process. And I think for me, it's interesting because I like both sides of it. I really like the strategic part and, you know, thinking about what we're doing, why we're doing it, what the support is. But I also really enjoy the creative part of coming up with ideas. And so I think my major and minor together and all of the coursework has had a really strong balance of the two. So I think it's slightly nerve-wracking to like, one, have to make this decision, and two, leave college and, you know, everything that's so familiar. But at the same time, I can only be grateful, you know, for having grown so much and developed so much these past 4 years and learned a lot, and just kind of embrace the possibility that anything can happen from here. With anything in life, like, you know, any big thing, any big event or big life stage, you have so many expectations. And I definitely had so many expectations, not only for graduation, but, you know, just being like, I'm a senior, I'm legal, I'm back in Bloomington, it's my last semester. It was a really like eerie feeling, I would say, because no one knew how big or how bad it was going to be. You know, we were just talking about this thing, this virus. I'm still really happy that I stayed, and you know, just to enjoy Bloomington for those few months meant a lot to me. Graduation for the class of 2020 was really different, you know, for every single person that graduated. For me, I remember, again, just being really happy to be in Bloomington, to be with my friends, to have any celebration at all. I think college is already so much, you know, so much happens in those 4 years or more years that everyone goes through. But to finish on that note just made it seem, in the beginning I thought it didn't seem real, but now I see, you know, how much happened and like where we were in our lives at that point. Graduation for me was just celebrating my time at IU and all of the things that made IU home for me. I started working at Hora. It's a fintech startup based in New Delhi, and we just launched our first product called Florence Capital. And I'm working as a business strategy associate, mostly driving growth and marketing efforts for our product, which is a digital lending app that provides instant personal loans to women. And it's really interesting because I I knew that I'm interested in marketing, but in terms of the company that I would work for, I never really imagined, getting into finance or financial services. So that's another thing that, kind of happened last year that I'm like, what? But it's been really interesting, and there's definitely been a lot of learning here. I think it's just funny how, I think I like really realized that life is never gonna go exactly to plan, or you're not gonna, get everything you wanted. And I think I see now how in every moment, whether it was like freshman year coming in and feeling really lost, or sophomore year and feeling like, I may have settled in, but like still navigating that journey of those 4 years of college. I think now that I see everything from one perspective and, it's all done, I kind of see how everything was working out for it to be, the best that it could have been for me. You will always be home for me. And yeah, I will definitely be back one day.